For centuries, the kugel has been a staple of Ashkenazi Jewish cooking. Beginning in the 12th century, Jews living in Germany began to place batters of bread containing egg as a binder into the Sabbath stew called cholent to enhance the flavor and add texture. This addition to the cholent resembled the Chinese dumpling, which was introduced to Italy and then Germany via the Silk Road. Jewish cooks soon adopted the German process of steaming puddings in a clay pot instead of a stew, and began to cook the dumpling in a Kugeltopf. The word Kugel means ball, and the word Topf means pot in Middle High German. The Kugeltopf would be placed on top of the cholent in order to keep the batter warm and moist and prevent it from burning. The result was a pudding. Since the 12th century, the Kugel has evolved significantly. In the 16th century, a rabbi in Frankfurt, Yosef Yuspa, wrote in Sefer Yosef Ometz, a compilation of local customs, that there are 3 types of kugel: bread roll, noodle, and matzah. In the same century, as a result of attacks from the Ottoman Empire, European Jewry was introduced to Middle Eastern food, and the rice kugel emerged as a popular festival food. While the first kugels were savory, by the 17th century, with the popularization of sugar, sweet kugels became a prevalent food. During this time, Hasidim and students of the Vilna Gaon began to move to Israel, bringing with them Eastern European culture, especially its food. In Jerusalem, the Yerushalmi kugel, a hybrid of the noodle and sweet noodle kugel, featuring ground black pepper and caramelized sugar, emerged. By the 19th century, potato kugel became the primary kugel consumed within the shtetls of Eastern Europe. Potato kugel provided an inexpensive alternative to rice kugel. A popular Yiddish song called Bulbus recalls how Jews ate potatoes every day, but on Shabbos indulged in a special treat, potato kugel. As Jamie Geller notes in her cookbook, Joy of Kosher, despite the wide variety of kugels, there are certain ingredients that define a kugel. Geller writes, the common denominators of all true kugels are starch base, eggs, and fat, without the addition of water or other liquids. If the dish lacks any of the basic ingredients, it is technically a casserole or cake, not a kugel. During the Middle Ages, few families owned a stove. As a result, most food was prepared over an open fire, and kugels had to be steamed. In the mid-19th century, as the stove became a more common house appliance, Jews began to cook the kugel in a separate container rather than in the cholent. The result was the development of the kugel as we know it, a baked casserole pudding. No longer was the kugel a food restricted to Shabbos lunch. Rather, it was served at the Shabbos meal on Friday and even during the week. After 900 years, the kugel is still served on Ashkenazi Jewish tables around the world and remains a staple of Jewish Ashkenazi cooking.